Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to today's video. Now today I'm really looking forward to your comments. Please watch this video and give me your feedback. You guys are what make me sit here and do this. I love it, I enjoy it because I like reading your comments. You know, there's thousands of you out there that are far more knowledgeable than myself that can share your experiences. So today I want to discuss 10 years in the land of smiles. How was it in 2016 to where it is today, and to what's been the biggest impact and the biggest changes regarding the nightlife? Okay, we're talking about the nightlife today. You know, when you look at Pattaya as a city, you know, it's undergone a massive transformation over the last decade. And there are, well, I've done some research, I've looked around, I've got a list here. It seems to be there are the 5 most common talked about topics that have reshaped the city for tourists, expats, and the girls as well. So I want to go through that with you guys. Don't worry, you won't be looking at me all the time. I am going to put overlays over the top so you can avoid looking at this. But there are 5 main things I want to go through. Like I said earlier, guys, please, give me your feedback. Why do you think it's changed? Has it changed for the better? What's, in your opinion, the good, the bad, and in many cases, the ugly? What is it? Let me know, guys. Right, so let's go back. We're going to go back now to 2016. It was a time of Pattaya when I was here, and I've got to say I loved it. So where were we back then as to where we are now and what has changed? Well, number 1, I call it the digital desk, from a bar stool to the dating apps. So if you go back like 10 years ago, you know, remember in the bar, that was your meeting point. That was where you had to go if you wanted to connect with a girl. There was none of this smartphone stuff. It was a case of, right, I need to go out tonight. I'm going to go down to a certain bar. You meet a girl of your dreams, and, oh, she's lovely. That is the meeting point. And if a girl wanted to meet a customer, she had to be sat on a stall in that bar because she was waiting for the footfall, for the traffic, people walking past, and, you know, the old, oh, I'll come back and see you tomorrow ones that, you know, 9 times out of 10 never ever existed. You wouldn't go back. But the point being is, now, right now, as we sit here today in 2026, everything's pretty much entirely on the smartphone. And if you think about it, you know, you've got the apps now. You've got apps like Tinder. You know, people can organise meetups on Tinder within seconds. And again, you're avoiding the costs because they're sat at home, not in a bar. Thai Friendly, another one. You know, we've got links in our description for Thai Friendly. I've never, ever used it myself. I know it is an app that people use. There is a link down in the description below. And so have a look if you've never experienced it, you know. And TikTok, you know, TikTok has created a freelance environment that's insane. And I'll explain a bit more of that when we talk later on. I can't use these apps, irrespective of the fact that I'm married. If I was going to do that, I can't. I'm not the particular person who can just pick up the phone, tap on a picture and say, hey, come and meet me. That petrifies the life out of me because I like the personal touch, the getting to know each other, the one-on-one conversations. However, there are many thousands of guys, probably you included, that are quite happy to do that. And the shift, you know, with these apps has taken the bar stool to become empty, when back in the day it used to be full. You know, many of the girls now, they just prefer to stay in their condos. You know, they don't need to go out. You know, their sponsors are paying them every month to live them, to allow them to live their way. So again, you know, they can do their stuff online and they can use video calls. All these kind of things that, you know, 10 years ago weren't really on the scene. So for the customer, you know, when you're walking around, yeah, it does. The bars look really quiet than they were back in the day. And of course they are, for the reason I've just explained. But I think there's actually more activity now than ever before. It's just behind a mobile phone instead of visually in front of you. So I think the digital desk, you know, from the bar stool to the dating app, I think it's changed horrifically. I'm not saying it's necessarily for the worst or for the best, it's just changed. Some of you guys that are tech savvy, yep, for you it's ideal, you don't have to go out and leave your condo. Some of you guys that don't want to do that and want to go out, well, there's still girls here sitting around the bars. It's just a case of knowing where to go and how to find what you're looking for. Number 2, the change between Walking Street versus the now hot area, Soi Buakhao LK Metro area. You know, back in the day, 2000, when I was a photographer down here, in 2016, when I walked around Walking Street, it was just the best. It was just absolutely rammed solid. Not with flag chasers, not with lots of Indians, but with tourists from western parts of the world. And, you know, when you came out on holiday, if you weren't down south, as in if you weren't in the Walking Street, which is the south part of the city, you know, then you weren't in the party zone. You were just, you know, wandering around aimlessly because all the bigger go-go's, all the big clubs, everything that was big was always in Walking Street. Now, if you come forward to 2026, you know, it's completely different now. You know, you go down to Walking Street, wow, it's completely changed. You know, a lot of the emphasis on the Indian tourism. There's huge, massive nightclubs there geared towards the Indian travelers. You've got a lot of Russian go-go's in there now. You know, the girls dancing in the glass front windows, etc. You know, it's aiming a lot more at the Korean, Japanese, the Indian, the Russian tourism, rather than how it used to be when I first came out here. It was geared towards the Westerners, and I'm sure, and you guys can help me, pre-2016, I'm sure it was even worse. Not worse, so it was even better. It was even more aimed at us. So there's been a lot of change. Now, when you look at the shift, you know, look at the explosion that we've seen here in Soi Buakhao, in LK Metro, you know, Soi Boomerang, Soi Chayapung. You know, these areas over the last 10 years have dramatically and significantly increased in terms of the amount of bars and girls that are here. You know, you walk around, it is wall-to-wall bars and girls. And, you know, it's great. It's a man's paradise. So that impact, that change of demographic has meant that a lot of you now, myself included, and I'll ask you the question, when you come out on holiday, when's the last time you went to Walking Street? Me personally, I haven't been to Walking Street for years, as in going out and having a beer. I've been down there to do my bits and pieces I need to do for the channel and for other stuff, but actual on my own, let's go out and have a beer down Walking Street, doesn't exist, wouldn't do it. You know, Walking Street now is really, in many ways, classed as a museum. It's a tourist museum. Oh, back in the day, this used to be this, that used to be that. This is here, that's not there. You know, the big East End nightclub on the right-hand side, you went into Walking Street, sadly now gone. You know, you got all your play like Club Misty's, Angel Witch, the Alcatraz, the list goes on. So it became more of a tourist museum for the tour group. So when they're walking around, they'd explain, oh, this and this and this has all changed. Whereas like the seasoned guys, the guys that come out, the regulars and the expats, they now come over to Buakhao. And it's for better value as well. You know, it's a lot less expensive. The bars are very similar to what they were back in the day. And it's more of a concentrated zone for the nightlife that runs around here. You know, you can drink from here from 9 o'clock in the morning right the way through till 9 o'clock the following morning. You know, it's 24/7. It really is. Number 3, price inflation. And are we at the end of what we used to now call the cheap Charlies? Are we at that stage now? You know, Pattaya is a city. It's expensive and it's also cheap. It depends on where you are and where you've got to look for. You know, the cheap Pattaya that we remember from 2016, well, that's just a thing of the past. You know, the cost of a night out has dramatically increased in many, many ways, depending on where you're going. You know, it's very, very expensive. It can easily compare with Bangkok prices, easily. You know, if you talk about the shift now from 2016, you know, back then the bar fine was around 300 to 500 baht. You know, a lady was between 99 baht and 120 baht. Now in 2026, you know, you go to some of the premium go-go's, you know, your bar fines are 1500 plus up. You know, drinks are 240, 250, 280, 320. You know, it's a serious night out. So if you ring the bell, back in the day, ringing the bell, you get changed out at 1,000 baht. Nowadays, you're talking at 4,000 or 5,000 baht, more in some of the more popular go-go's. So again, you know, it's become much more expensive. And that's changed the demographic of the tourists now. You know, the budget backpackers, the people that look in here and want to come out here and experience it on a low budget, they just can't do it. It's just changed so much, you know. It's just one of those situations where, unfortunately, you've either got to come out here and dig deep and get on with it, or maybe consider alternative options. And, you know, people that have got money, or the short-term travelers that are coming out here that have got a budget, say, do you know what, I don't care, I'm just going to crack on, I want to have the experience, I want to enjoy it. Brilliant. You know, come out here, guys. The world is your oyster. It's all here in front of you. But those of you that are coming out for, say, 3 months or more, and you're on a budget, that's going to hurt. It's going to be a struggle. But having said that, there are still many places. And if you're not sure, pop in the Buzzin Effect. I'll happily show you around and showcase places. There are many places here where you can still go out and have a good time, but you've just got to know where to go. Because if you don't, well, sadly, and most importantly, your wallet is going to get whacked. It really is. So again, you know, you've got to be aware of that. Number 4, and this is me, transparency, you know, total transparency, and the live stream event, the vloggers, the YouTubers, all those people. Yep, we have definitely, myself included, changed how the city is now. And, you know, in many ways, I understand the people that are upset about what we do. And also, in the other side of the coin, I think, well, we're exposing bars that would never even be heard of. And yes, you could argue and say, yeah, but that was part of the attraction, Trev. You know, we'd come over here, you wander out, oh, look, found this place. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, and that's great for the bar that you stumbled across and you fell into and you walked in and had a good time. Now, in the modern world, remember when I said about the girls are doing this? You're doing this as well. Come on, let's be fair. Let's be honest about this. You know, so nowadays when we're showcasing places, you know, when I go to places, and please don't take this wrong, I don't want to sound like I'm being a big-headed knob. When I go into play and I say, bloody hell, that's good. You only got to go to Harlan's, go to Patrick's, you know, go down to see Mark at One Stop. The amount of people that watch what I do, trust what I say, and go there and have a great time or use these services and have a great experience, you know, it is worth its weight in gold in terms of giving you that opportunity to learn before you come out here. But if you look at the two, you know, in 2016, you know, 10 years ago, I was a photographer in Walking Street. Don't really recall much of a live stream back then, to be fair. So, whereas now, you know, pretty much today, the city's on a camera somewhere 24/7. It really is. You know, everywhere you go, there's cameras. So, you know, the arrival of YouTube and like the Kick live streams, like people like myself, it's given the city a much more bigger, presence. However, it can have a little bit of a negative effect as well, because if you see a bar and you think, oh, that's empty, I won't go there, it might just be a bad day. You see a bar that's rammed, you think, oh, I can't go there, I'll go and get a seat. It's a difficult situation. There are no more hidden secrets. You know, every bar, you know, every price, all the things that happen, any scams that have happened, it's all on YouTube or other platforms like Kick, you know, Instagram, TikTok, all these places. You know, they're all there to guide you and share experiences. So in many ways, I think it's a good thing. Some of you may disagree, and I respect your opinions, guys. You know, we're not all the same. I think the argument will be coming mainly from the old time. Remember now, we're moving into a new generation. I had a chat with people in the bar the other day. Yeah, back in the day, but we're not back in the day. We're now here today in a modern technology, a modern world. You've got all this AI stuff going on. You've got, you know, smartphones streaming, Kick streaming, you know. It's just massive now. So we have to just accept it. You're not going to stop it. No matter how much you want to, and if you don't like it, I get that, but you're not going to stop it. It is going to continue on whether we like it or not. You know, we've lost that, I don't know, I suppose the mystery about what's going on. Oh, I'd love to go out there. You know, I heard so much about it. You remember when you guys were coming out here, you'd go back home, you'd tell your mates, yeah, blood, that doesn't happen. What a load of bollocks. And you think, no, it really does happen. Now you say, really, don't think so? Hey, I'll watch that. Wow. Do you know what I mean? So it's taken away that kind of like that mysterious, oh, maybe I should go there. Maybe I should try it out. Whereas now they can see it go, okay, it's transparent now. I can see everything that's going on. So, you know, really, maybe not the best idea going forward. However, you know, I try to be respectful when I go out with my camera. I don't do hardly any nighttime. So again, I'm trying to protect your privacy as much as I can personally. You know, there are guys out there that do nighttime. All right, fine. It's just not my cup of tea. I think to myself, I say to you, look, here's Sugar, for argument's sake, on the corner of LK Metro. Go there tonight. He's got 30 to 40 girls. It's great fun. Go inside. There's a stage. Maybe by doing it my way, I'm creating that mystery. Oh, Trev said that's good in there. Come on, let's go and have a look. Because I'm not showing you. I'm just saying to you, if you go in. It's a bit like Kink. You know, go upstairs in Kink with a smile. You'll come down and you'll be laughing and think, oh, my Lord, what was that I've just witnessed? So I think it works how you use it. The last one is the girls. The workforce evolution, we call it. The girls changing, you know, their career goals and their diversification. If you look at it now, you know, remember back in the day, it was, oh yeah, the farm girls come down and she's coming down here to earn some money to send back to mum and dad and to take care of her baby and all the other things that's going on. Yes, probably 99.9% of the time back then, that was the reason why they came down. And for obvious reasons. You know, if you've got a high influx of tourists, a high influx of the sailors and the soldiers, etc., coming here, spending money like it's confetti, well, you'd have to be an idiot not to come down and want a slice of that pie. You'd have to be stupid. But now, because of the way that the social media is showcasing everything that's available here, because of the way that's changed with the smartphones and everything, you know, because everyone's more tech savvy, you know, the girls are not stupid. You know, they chat to each other, they FaceTime with each other, they share experiences, and suddenly they think, oh, I'll have a piece of that. So now, when they come out here, you know, they're looking for that digital awareness. They're looking for that person. But here's the twist. Here's where it's really not going well. If you look at things like OnlyFans and TikTok, A lot of the girls now are perceiving themselves to be superstars on the media. Oh, I've got 100,000 followers on TikTok. Oh, I've got 50,000 followers on OnlyFans, whatever. Now they're in the driving seat. You have created their opportunity to say, well, actually, because I'm so popular, because I'm now on TikTok and doing this, all this, and that, and the other, I don't need to come out to work. So if you want me to come out and meet you, it's going to cost you a premium rate. It's going to cost you a premium rate because I'm a little superstar. So we've kind of, in a way, created this rod for our own back, because the girls, everyone thinks these girls are stupid. They are sharper than razor blades. I'll tell you now, they know every trick in the book. They know every little bit, every little way to twist and turn things and get the most out of you that they can. Trust me, guys, if you think they're stupid, then you're the stupid one. And I mean that with the nicest possible way, but you are. Because these girls have seen it, done it. If they haven't, they've got friends that have seen it and done it over the years. They all know what they're doing. They know that when you come out, you want that girlfriend experience. Well, yeah, that girlfriend experience that was so traditional back in the early days now is a very expensive experience. So again, the girls are not stupid. They've evolved. They've learned TikTok. They've learned OnlyFans. They've learned Instagram. They've learned all these things, and they're more interested in branding themselves. If you go on Instagram, there's girls in there. I know many girls in there now. They walk around in their little outfits, etc., etc. They've got like 25,000 likes, 10,000 comments. And do you think they're going to worry about going into a bar and sitting down and dancing on a pole? Of course they're not. They've got their own brand now. And you guys are feeding and funding into that. So it's a big, big change in the girls, the way they think now. Now they're saying to the girls up in East End, hey, get yourself on the phone, get yourself down here. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And to be fair, it is. A lot of changes. So there we are. That's basically what I've thought about. I don't know if you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear your comments, guys. Listen, I don't mean I'm right. Just because I say it doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my personal opinion. It's how I think. You might disagree. And if you do disagree, please share why you disagree, because I'd love to learn. I'd like to, guys come in the Buzzin Lounge here in Soi Made. I love sitting down with you, and some guys are going to say, oh, Trev, do you remember this video? Have you ever thought about this? I think, bloody hell, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a really good point. I like learning from you guys. Just because I'm lucky enough to live here doesn't mean I know everything. It just means I live here and I see things on a day-to-day basis. However, there are guys out there, maybe you watching, have forgotten more than I ever know. I don't know. But the point being is, it's a community. It's about learning from each other, about sharing experiences. So please, guys, drop your comments down below. So 2 questions for you before I go. 2 questions. I mean, number one, before we go to the question, Pattaya will always survive. Don't worry. People say Pattaya's done, dusted, it's over, it's finished. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a survivor. Yes, it changes its skin every few years. Yes, we evolve with the changes and what's going on around the world. 2016 to 2026, it's different. In 2036, I don't know what it'll be like because I won't be here, but I'll tell you what, it won't be like it is today. It's still going to be changing and evolving. So, we just happen to be one of the world's biggest nightlife centres. So, of course, we're going to always be. It never, ever stops. And excuse the pun, but we're a city that never stops buzzing. It's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Taxi. Okay, I'm leaving. Right, 2 questions for you. Number 1, if you could go back to 2016 for one night, knowing what you know now, would you do it? If you could go back to 2016, knowing what you know now, would you go back and do it? And the last one is, when you talk about the bars, how many bars are now empty? And they're empty because the girls are busy on their phones. It's a common complaint that always gets, you talk, oh, it's empty, it's empty. So do you think the mobile app has been a good step? Or has the mobile app been a negative? What do you think, guys? Do you think it's good or bad? Remember, some of you are sitting there thinking, well, actually, I just connect with this girl, bang, job done. Don't even need to go out. It's brilliant. I love it. Or are you the guy that walks around thinking, oh, there's no one in that bar, no one in that bar. What do you think, guys? All right, there we are. That's it. There you go. That's me done today. I just like to talk about these things. I'm loving it at the moment. Do you know what I really love? Is because I've cut down on my videos, I've actually got time to sit back, think, and actually do some research, and actually, rather than just like do my wander arounds or go and grab people for interviews. I hope you're enjoying the fact that I've laid off a little bit, and I'm bringing I don't know, maybe different kind of content. I don't know. If there's any kind of content you want me to bring, give me a shout, guys. I'll do that for you. No dramas whatsoever. All right, there we are. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. If you haven't, jump into Discord. There's over 23,000 members in this game of strength to strength. It's completely free of charge. It's a way of finding out what's going on right here, right now in this digital world we got. So have a look in Discord, guys. If you haven't, jump on the kick.com/buzzing Pattaya. We go out and about around the city, live streaming. Yes, we are guilty. Live streaming during the day of what's going on right here, right now, as well as events, sporting events, festivals, music stuff, all that kind of stuff. So come and join us on Kick. And if you can't watch us live, don't worry. Please join. You can always go back on the platform, look at them and think, oh, that's the one they did. I want to watch that. So let's see you over there on Kick, guys. I mentioned TikTok. Bo and Ying are doing a great job on TikTok. Please give them a like and a follow, guys. It means the world to them. They are really, really working on it. They're really excited about 2026 as to where they can grow the channel. So if you are someone that's a TikToker or you fancy just having a look, jump on a TikTok, type in Buzzin Effect, give the girls a like and a follow. Be much appreciated. All right, and if you'd like to receive our 2 weekly newsletter, please send me an email, 247pattaya@gmail.com. Just type in there, newsletter, and we will then send you out our monthly, our bi-weekly, we used to be monthly, that's why I get to say monthly, our 2 weekly newsletter, which Bo puts together. She does an amazing job. It's packed full of information, and she'll be watching this video now saying, yeah, cheers, boss, you've just doubled my work. Sorry, Bo, love you really, Di, but you're too good at what you do. That's why we've done it. So yeah, if you fancy that, guys, just send me an email. All right, there we are. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you very much, Lee, for watching, and please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.